Hi everyone, it's Monica and welcome back to Tailor Made Cards for You. So with the beginning of March, I wanted to go ahead and introduce to you my latest kit, and this kit is called One Lucky Day. And it has the Irish four-leaf clover theme going on here. I don't have any kits in my shop with this theme, so I thought it would be kind of fun to go ahead and put together a kit just to make some fun spring cards. Now in the kit, you're going to get some really pretty paper. What I printed out is the paper sized into A2 size cards, because that's what I'm going to make today. But you're going to get some paper that is larger as well, like this one. So if you wanted to make bigger cards, you can certainly do that as well. Now I know not everybody is comfortable with layering. So I do have some items out there that are pre-layered, as you can see. And this one has a whole page of collage. So if you wanted to size this down, this would be a really nice backing as well. But for those of you that are a little bit more adventurous, I do just have some ephemera pieces that you can cut out and do some layering yourself. Now in the shop, I also have these fun little characters that you can add to your cards as well. And I'll make sure that I link those below. And then along with some of the items from the kit, I'm going to go ahead and just use some items that are on my desk. I've had these sitting here for a while, so I think I'm going to try to incorporate some of these. I have these leftover ephemera pieces that I created a birthday card with. I've got gears here. I've got a little bit of everything. So if I can incorporate some of this stuff into my card so I don't have to put it away, that's even a bigger bonus. So let's just go ahead and jump right in. Alright, so I went ahead and I cut out all my paper, and on some of the paper I even used a fancy die to kind of get a jaggedy edge. Now before we jump in, I want to remind you there is a new challenge over on my challenge blog, and our theme this month is luck, or lucky, right? But it's an optional theme, so if you don't have anything that will work for that theme, just link up any of your projects for the Anything Goes. And would love for you to check out the challenge this month, so be sure to pop over there and take a look at some of the inspiration from the design team members. I'll have links below to everything, so be sure to check that out at the end of the video. Alright, so as you know, a lot of my inspiration comes from a lot of my vintage items that I have in my shop, and this was a vintage coin holder that I had, and then I also had some of these old tickets that you can see right here. So I tried to create my collages using some of my vintage items, and then of course some of my vintage ephemera is in the shop. So if you are interested in getting some of the authentic vintage product, be sure to check out the vintage section of the shop as well. So let's see what we can come up with. Now these are going to be layered cards. So for 4 of the cards, I just have some background, and then for the other 4, I went ahead and I cut that one 8.5 by 11 sheet down so I can use it as a background layer. And then I have some of my vintage photo. And what's nice about vintage photo, or excuse me, I should say walnut stain, but any of the distress inks, when you are using a fancy die, if you do get a little bit of that white, the distress ink is great to cover that up. So not only will it cover up some of that white, but it will give it a great vintage shadowing on your background. So walnut stain definitely is my go-to ink. I have the entire collection of distress inks and oxides, probably as many as you do. Well, I shouldn't say that. I haven't gotten the new pink one, I think it's called Kish, but I haven't picked up that one as of yet. But I probably will be adding that to my collection soon enough. So I'm just going to go ahead and, while I've got my ink out, just add some walnut stain to the outside edges. Now when you are making several cards, it's always nice to kind of have somewhat of an assembly line. And what I mean by that is to do the same process on all of your items. So that way you don't have to, put away and bring it back. and you'll be ready to go. Okay, so I went ahead and I pre-cut some of these green cardstocks as well, because I'm going to go ahead and use that as a background. And when I print, the paper that I print on is pretty light, and I like it that way because the colors come out a little bit more vibrant. But then I want to have a sturdy backing, so that's where I'm coming in with just regular cardstock. So let's go ahead and add all the backs, and then we can get into our layering. Okay, so using my 3-in-1 beacon, I went ahead and I added the paper to my green cardstock, and now I am ready to start my layering. So I'm just going to go ahead and see what I have here. Like I said, I'm going to try to use some of my stash that I have on my desk. I might even use some remnant rubs, I'm not really sure. And then I also cut out the word lucky from this Tim Holtz Thinlits, because I think it's going to be great to add to these cards as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and see what I have here. I like to use bigger pieces for my background, so I have some of these bigger items here. And then I want to make sure that I coordinate light with dark. So I think that would look better there. And then you don't want to have something that's too busy on your background that is a little busy itself. So kind of keep that in mind when you're going along. So maybe I'll use that there. Just kind of sorting out what I have here. Okay, so I think I kind of have an idea of what I'm going to do, but I reserve the right to change it up as I go along. So let's go ahead and start out with this one. This is one of the items that comes in the kit. So I wanted to go ahead and create a backing, but I didn't necessarily just want it to be, you know, round. So I had these cogs on my desk and I thought, oh, perfect, right? I can go ahead and kind of incorporate these. So remember, it doesn't have to be traditional when you're creating your projects. If you have, you know, something on your desk, or even, you know, just put away, try to think outside the box. I mean, these don't necessarily scream St. Patrick's Day, but certainly I'm going to make it work. So I'm just, and then I'll also use some items up on my desk that I don't have to put away. Now, I know not everybody has these items, so what I try to do for you when I am creating these ideas is I like to create kits for you. So I'll try to get these in the shop pre-cut out, so if you do want to use this idea, you'll be able to find the supplies that will work. So I am just readjusting these, and that is what's nice about wet adhesive, is you can move it as you need to. Okay, so now that I've figured out where my cogs are going to go, I'm going to go ahead and add some walnut stain to my image, and then I'm just going to go ahead and adhere it to my card. And these are going to be very simple cards. I know that a lot of us don't have a lot of time, and these layered cards are just really easy and quick, and they're not difficult, and pretty much, I mean, there's so many different combinations that you can make when you're working with layers, and that's why I think I like Ephemera so much, is you can make so many different variations with the same kit. Probably should have inked that up before I started. But yeah, there's so many variations that you can work with when you're working with digital images, and that's why I really like them. And like I said, not just digital images, of course, just ephemera in general. All right. Now for this, I'm going to go ahead and just work with my Mod Podge. And if you have some of the real thin line glue sticks or glue, that would work as well. But I'm going to go ahead and adhere this.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video and add some fun music while I put these 4 cards together for you. So I hope that you've enjoyed my video and my process for putting together these fun, lucky cards. And keep in mind, the kit can not only be used for St. Patrick's Day cards, but also just for birthday cards or any card where you want to share the luck. So as always, I'll leave a list of all the products that I've used to create the cards along with the links to the stores. And if you've enjoyed the video, I would certainly appreciate a thumbs up. Now don't forget, I do have a challenge going on over at my challenge blog, and I'll make sure that I link to that below. And over on the challenge blog, you'll be able to see all the inspiration from the design team. All right, everybody, thanks so much for stopping by, and we'll see you again next time.